Oke guys, kita lanjut ke game yang kedua antara BTK melawan Area 77. Oke lah, nah sekarang ada Akai Jungler melawan Baxia Jungler guys ya.
Possibly maybe our first game 3 of the day in our final series. Area 77 taking the world by
Sekarang
surprise
dia pakai Cloud guys, dan Nicolette dia pakai Valentina ya. Gantian guys, Markiti yang pakai Texana sekarang. Tapi di sini Area 77 pakai combo lama ya. Bruno DIGGIE.
On top of that, will it be the same story for game number 2, or will BTK be able to disrupt their momentum and shut them down in the early game?
Really interesting here. Mark Cutie's getting shut out from his farm here. Nicolette doing a great job of kind of zoning him away from a lot of these minions.
Well, see, that's the good thing about the Valentina too, is the Valentina can be way more aggressive than the Vexana, especially in the early phase, because the Vexana can play a lot closer. You are going to go ahead and see both teams getting ready for their first objectives, though. Zane, he doesn't go for the invade, though. I was wondering if he was going to try an invade onto the side of Area 77. It did not work the first time around for game number 1, and it looks like he's learned his lesson. But when the first turtle comes on the board,
jadi
I think BTK should be
apa namanya, mid laner ladies
able
satu-satunya bro yang dimiliki Mobazane ya. Wih.
Oh, Mark Cutie,
tipis sekali.
This first turtle set up here. Bloodthirsty King's in a great positioning, waiting for the turtle to come up. You can see Mobazane in the pixel bush right now, waiting. The rest of BTK at mid gonna go ahead and join him shortly.
Yeah, but I mean, JQT not in position, and look at Mark Cutie. Both of them decided not to go in for it, which will be a free turtle to the side of BTK. And I mean, this is the way the draft kind of plays out, right? But speaking of draft, bot side engagement.
Yeah, very unfortunate for the side of Area 77. They look for a gank at bottom, but I mean, a great positioning there by Yellow, who's able to get away from that. And now you have Area 77, who traded it for a kill, but come out empty-handed, and a turtle going over to BTK.
Yeah, and you got to be careful. Now they have the advantage, which is totally different from game number 1, and they're able to kind of close out with early finishes when you allow these things to happen, and you have to keep an eye on them. BTK, though, with that first turtle, will have an XP boost ahead of Area 77, and now there goes the invasion. Look at Koro given the vision, now trying to possibly contest on the purple buff.
Yeah, Blazing Duet at mid to clear up the minions. That's going to keep Mark Cutie busy, while Tarzan getting jumped on by 3 members.
Tarzan.
Is he going to be able to get out?
Wah, gila. Akhirnya Mobazane first blood, guys.
Heavy spin out there, JQT. Ooh, almost got caught and pinned against the wall. They're still giving chase. Coworld and the rest of BTK in a bad way here are going to be able to make their way to their side of the jungle.
BTK ya.
And ISO stripping off half of the gold plating from the turret on the top side, which will give him an advantage in the gold lane. We know he's running that Claude. He needs that Demon Hunter sword, that golden staff, to really be able to soak into Boxia from Tarzan Cutie, and also possibly Yureshi Cutie over there. ISO and needs to kind of be careful. He's not as mobile. He did go in for that Purify to stop a little bit of the CC provided from BTK, but I don't know if it will be enough. But so far, you are looking at a great start for the Bloodthirsty Kings, trying to take this to a game 3, controlling the early game.
Yeah, and I want to say whatever cobwebs were in BTK in that first game, they seem to have
the
rotations here, the synergy from them is a lot tighter on this game when it comes to rotating around the map, and I'm glad to see it. You see, oh, Mielo comes in, locking on the JQT, who's going to use that flicker to get away. Even latched on a little bit of a reverse time on Mielo for the time being, but this is going to go ahead, open up.
Tumbang guys,
still able to find the angle and find the kill on the Diggie, and this is going to open up the next turtle for Mobazane.
Yeah, 2 turtles in their favor now, and also something funny to point out: 3 quantum charges for BTK and 2 concussive blasts. This kind of tells you a couple of things, right? They're going to be highly mobile, and they're going to be highly tanky for the ones who aren't. And that means they're going to be taking these fights up close and personal and at a fast pace. And that is what we're seeing so far, as they're able to take both of these turtles with little to no contest, and also able to take 2 kills on top of that. Area 77 needing to be careful as they are trying to form that snowball.
Ooh, JQD comes in here with the time journey, but ooh, just narrowly escapes there. I was about to say, ISO actually able to get away on his own. Oh, but get popped up and a blazing duet for his troubles. Nicolette picking up the kill there at the top lane.
And a kill on the bot side as well as Tarzan Cutie will find Milo. That is going to be a 1-for-1 trade. First kill for Area 77. But BTK still in control of today's match, at least for the early game. Area 77 slightly behind, now down by over 2,000 gold. Looking at some of the core items with the crossbow has been picked up over there from Basic. He is going to be working toward that corrosion site. Does have the Demon Hunter sword. You are going to see on the opposite side of the table for the gold lane, ISO. Behind him by 1,000 gold. Picking up the Hawes class, still working toward a possible Legion sword and an additional item like a Berserker's Fury.
Cloudnya sih menang duit ya. Harusnya kalau 1-by-1 Cloud bisa menang bro lawan Bruno bro.
The Bloodthirsty Kings.
Mobazane. Itu Tarzan beda level loh, beda 2 level nah. Terjuri sudah guys ya.
And the crazy thing is that was a 1v3. It's just a battle of a retribution and Mobazane. Quicker to the punch, able to get it and walk away with no penalty, which will delay the farm over there from Tarzan Cutie even more than it's been already, with Zane taking all of these turtles. Speaking of turtles, the third one will spawn in, and it looks like they may be able to take yet another objective uncontested by Area 77.
Yeah, basically just ignoring Yureshi down here, trying to put the damage onto the tower. Gets back with the BMI to go ahead and support Zane, but Yellow gets caught here. Finishing touches by JQD up at the top lane. So they're at least able to answer back 2-3 in favor of BTK.
Yeah, but the trade will still work in Bloodthirsty King's favor as they take a turtle and they take the most valued turret for the early game, the tier 1 in the mid lane, which will open up the map for invading. And BTK will now have a massive advantage, if it wasn't enough already, up against Area 77, putting them in an awkward situation as BTK now able to overextend comfort. Now going to take the tier 1 on the bot side as well, up by 3 turrets to 1 against Area 77.
Yeah, a much tighter game by BTK this time. They have a great, I want to say, answers right now. Their rotations are on top. Zane hasn't gotten caught once just yet, and now you can start seeing they're starting to force their way into the enemy jungle right now. Ooh, we do have a big upset here. Mark Cutie does find a kill.
Tarzan.
Blazing duet to the back line. Tarzan gonna have to back up. A big heavy spin by Mobazane. I think he still got that orange buff.
Kalau Mobazane udah beli Guardian tapi hampir aja Yureshi-nya tumbang ya. Milo pun sama guys. Karat banget dia.
Very close call though. Zane doing good on invading the jungle for Area 77, not trying to allow Tarzan to catch up. I mean, he's down 2 levels up against Mobazane right now, and it's steady climbing even higher as you are seeing him still contesting. He's a bully right now on the Sakai. He's only getting beefier. He's running that concussive blast, and they're ahead by almost 3,000 gold, which means the damage items needed from Area 77 to shut him down is just not there. We're not even really seeing a massive presence over there from JQD on this Diggie, who we were kind of wondering about, especially as Diggie took a nerf with the damage output. But with that time journey, it's just very hard to negate all of the CC when there's a heavy CC composition. I mean, the time journey is only active for so long, and all they have to do is bait it out.
Lord pertama guys ya. Ini tapi dari segi kill sih 3-3 doang guys. Jarang adanya kill juga ya. Mereka lebih memilih untuk agresif tapi lebih pasif gimana tuh? Agak pasifan ya, nggak seperti game pertama bro. Wah di sini BTK menang 2.800 lah, lumayan lah ya. Se-item bro itu bro.
Right now they're kind of fishing around, seeing what they can catch in the river here. If Area 77 is going to go ahead and make the first mistake, try to engage here, but they definitely want a fight here.
You are still seeing some items be picked up, though. Mark Cutie just got that Lightning Truncheon, and we'll be able to echo some damage to the full team of BTK when he decides to engage with this Vexana. But It's not going to be the right time. BTK
Wah.
have a proper foothold for this match. Massive damage and aggro pulled.
Untung aja ya guys ya. Untung guys itu guys. Sumpah lah. Wah itu tadi kalau basic langsung mati sih kocak parah bro. Kalau di Indo mah udah langsung jadi jedak-jeduk guys ya. Oke yang dapat Tarzan Kitty nggak tuh? Aduh Mobazane. Padahal Mobazane menang level loh guys. Bisa-bisanya KO guys dia guys. Kena CC kali ya. Gak ada replay lagi. Aduh. Harusnya sih kena CC dari Markiti ya. Tadi kelihatannya Mobazane telat guys mencet retrinya guys. Tumbang sih itu Cici. Tapi ditukar taruh tengah bro, mahal bro. Oke lah Lordnya lah dari atas guys ya. Tapi tarotnya BTK masih lumayan banyak guys.
Yeah, ISO able to claim a turret though on the bot side, slowly inching their way up the map. They do have the Lord on the top side as well, which means they're able to turn this around in their favor since they took the turret in the mid lane as well. They have now gained control.
Oh, yeah, the gold still, I want to say, heavily in favor of Bloodthirsty Kings. We talked about this before. I mean, at any point in the game, behind or in front, BTK is still a very dangerous team that you need to watch out for. And they still have a sizable gold lead over Area 77 here. So they're Area 77 not out of the woods here.
Yeah, they are going to try and bank in on Milo, finding a way to the back line with that Paquito.
Udah diamankan oleh basic ya.
As he builds his core items to be that late game damage dealer, that staple marksman pickup with that Claude that they're relying on. And the later this goes, that's where he's going to start to shine. But Area 77, they're not going to try and get that opportunity.
Wabrak guys. Oke, dikocak-kacirin tapi tetap aja Melo mati coy. Mobazane nyusul kah? Sulit sih guys harusnya. Waduh, taruh tengahnya hancur ya guys ya.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to close it out and now going to work on chipping down this inhibitor, but they need to be careful on not overstaying their welcome. The Bloodthirsty Kings is known to make the most out of these situations. Blade armor picked up from Mobazane, trying to negate some of those physical attacks coming out, especially over there from ISO. He does have that Berserker's Fury to provide that crit.
Ooh, Basic comes in. I want to say a very eager blazing duet onto the team of Area 77. Does back them off. Mobazane comes in. Is he going to be able to get that retribution?
Mobazane nggak dapat guys.
Was not able to get it.
Mobazane ya Allah udah pakai retri masih nggak dapat ya guys ya. Lemah, ya Mobazane mati lagi. Gila kali guys ya. Mobazane 2 season ini underperform banget guys, sumpah lah. Kenapa ya ada Tam Journey 2. Oke, udah. Ya Tuhan Nicolette, Basic, ya Tuhan Cold War tipis banget. Blazing duet Basic. Tuh mati gak tuh guys. Ya Milo, tuh wabrak gaming. Milo itu jatuhan nggak satu suara guys, yang satu kesini yang satu kesana bro. Ya udahlah guys, matilah. Oke lah, Mobazane ready sih, tapi apa gak mau langsung di push guys. ISO-nya fokus best cuy, gila. Oh udah sih guys, GG guys. Game kedua diamankan juga oleh Area 77 ya guys ya. Mantap kali, BTK harus diturunkan. Kalah ya guys ya, oh, gila. Oke lah guys ya, kita lanjut ke match selanjutnya cuy, bye bye.